Hello everyone and welcome to the Tweed Heads Bowls Club, the venue for the Australian Indoor Championships for 2013. Today it is the men's semi-final, the first of those, and so far in this tournament it's been a tournament of upsets. Defending champion Mark Casey was beaten, so too the Australian Open champion Aaron Wilson. Today the first semi-final is an all-Victorian affair. It is Tony Wood up against Matthew Rennex. Well, joining me in commentary is Australian team member Barry Lester. And Barry, what can you tell me about a former clubmate of yours, Tony Wood?
Tony Wood, well, he's been around the traps. He's played both international bowls over at Potters a couple of years ago, world indoor singles representative, and he's also made the big stage in the 2009 Australian Open pairs. So Tony is in good form, but Matthew's a really good player. 21 years of age, we're seeing so many young players come through. What is the strength of Matthew's game? Matthew, he's just very consistent and he's got all the shots in the book. He's a Victorian under-25 skipper. He can play the weighted game, so I could expect a lot of drawing, but if the shots need to be played, you'll see some weight.
Well, let's hear from the two bowlers now. They're with Andrew Holmes.
Well, thank you, Mark. Two players who have certainly earned their way through to this semi-final, having to encounter tie breaks all the way through. To you, Matthew Rennex, first off, Charlie Slavic in your previous round, 8-all, 5-all. You had to earn that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a tough match. The whole game, head-to-head. We had a couple of dead ends where we had both bowls were touching the jack. Yeah, so I slogged my way through it and got up in the end.
Excited to be here?
Yeah, it should be good. First time in front of the camera, so yeah, can't wait.
And to you, Tony, your last match against a good teammate and friend Graham Archer, that would stand you in good stead for this semi-final, I'm sure.
Yeah, should do. He's a quality player and to me was the favourite to win this, so to take him out was probably a notch on mosh for me. So looking forward to the challenge against Matty. Good teammate in the under-25s in Victoria.
I'm sure you'll agree too that some tie breaks to get you in good form for this stands you in good stead.
Oh, tie breaks are never fun. Played a couple last week and lost them both, so this time I've been a bit lucky.
Taking a look at the profiles, and Tony Wood is 25 years of age, and his major tournament success came at the 2011 Victorian Open when he won the pairs, and 2 years prior to that he was runner-up at the Australian Open with pairs partner Michael Wilkes. Matthew Rennex is from the Altona Bowls Club, as we said, just 21 years of age, and has had success on the junior stage with a gold in the 2009 Nationals in the fours and a bronze in the pairs the year prior. A very healthy crowd here for the first of the men's semi-finals for the 2013 Indoor Championships at the Tweed Head Bowls Club. And these two young bowlers from Victoria about to go head-to-head. Tony Wood and Matthew Rennex. Tony in the red and Matthew in the black. Barry Lester, nerves will play a part, you would think, in this semi-final. TV cameras, a very big crowd for these two young guys. Even though Tony is a silver medalist at the Australian Open in the pairs, this is a bit of a step up. TV cameras and a big crowd.
Absolutely, Mark. They wouldn't have played in conditions similar to this, I wouldn't have thought, over the years. Confined rink, indoor, big crowd, so let's hope it's a cracking game.
Matthew Rennex, 21-year-old, gets us underway. And a good start.
Players electing to play the opposite sides of the mat so far on quite a short length. Matthew Rennex on the forehand.
Each set is 9 ends. What we have noticed in our time at the Australian Indoors in these set play situations, two barriers, you can't afford to be chasing. You can't afford to drop too many shots too early, because all of a sudden you look up and there's only an end or two remaining and sets can get away from you very quickly.
Absolutely. Good to see Tony Wood make the correction there and put Matthew under the pump early. I think the key, especially for these two young blokes, is just to try and come out and play their natural game. not worry about the crowd or the TV. Just come out and play what they like to do best, and that at times might be electing to play a bit of weight.
Very individual pre-bowl routine from Tony.
Yeah, there's not too many other deliveries out there like Tony's. He's got quite a unique delivery, but it definitely works. He gets the bowl away very, very smooth, which definitely helps on the indoor surface. Playing a little bit of weight again here, Matthew. Doesn't have to correct on much, either to sit the bowl or trail the jack. Pretty good. Oh, through the hole again.
You wouldn't think you could do it 2 in a row. But it is an opportunity here for Tony Wood. Will you stay with the backhand?
I think so. There's no harm in just playing even a couple of feet of weight. You can trail the jack for 3 or just look to city zone for 2. At times, you can be a very, very aggressive player, Tony Wood. Has got all the shots. And as we see here,
looks
very,
good.
Very good draw bowler.
It looks good. It is a terrific start for the 25-year-old. And 2-0 after the first end of this men's semi-final. A nice settler there for Tony to lead 2-0. After the first ends, 9 ends a set. First 2 sets are 9 ends, and should it be required, the third set is a 3-end tie break, and beautifully weighted there. Almost rolled on a little bit too much. He was a bit concerned about it for a moment. Well, you can't really tell from his expression, but I'm sure that he, just another half a bowl, and it would have just been the one.
Tony playing the same side, so this will be his 5th bowl coming up on the one side of the rink, which may have been a pre-game tactic, just to try and get some rhythm up on one side of the rink.
Does tend not to turn as much, we've seen so far here at the Tweedhead Bowls Club from that side of the rink. Matthew Rennex going his backhand.
Yeah, spot on. A lot of players do understand on this TV rink that one hand does turn slightly wider than the other, and Matthew's loving the wide side coming this way so far. Beautiful, smooth release, Tony Wood. Lovely delivery. And balance is really good. Gets down nice and low. He won't be afraid to play weight at times.
He changed to backhand on that occasion. It's forced a change for Matthew Rennex here to go to his forehand now.
Interesting swap for Matthew. He played a really good bowl on his backhand, but I think he might just try and look to protect any danger here. But it's definitely worked out. It's He's got a good presence on the rink. Tiger is like what we like to call him, obviously for his last name, but he's been around, very experienced bowler. I think once he gets his rhythm up, he'll be hard to stop.
$6,000, the winner of the tournament, gets here at Tweed Heads, but You know, while the money is wonderful, neither player would knock it back. I would imagine at 21 and 25 years of age to have an Australian title next to your name is what they're chasing. The money is a bonus. The title is what they're after.
Looking to sit the bowl or just come in and draw the shot. Slightly wide. It's a good try.
Well, here's a chance. Slightly ajar here, the door for Matthew Rennex.
He's played 3 pretty good bowls so far. This would be a very nice way to finish the end.
It's superb,
He's
isn't it?
played it well.
How many shots, though? It is 3 to Matthew Rennex, so the nerves have settled for him. And he leads 3-2 after 2 ends of this men's semi-final. And after a promising start there from Tony Wood, there were some terrific bowls from Matthew Rennex as well to put pressure on his opponent.
I think that's the standard we can expect. You know, all 8 bowls that end pretty close to the jack. So once these guys get further into the match, I think that's what we'll come to see. These 2 young stars or 2 young Victorians. So we can guarantee a Victorian making the final. It's not bad.
There's a few Victorians in the crowd as well. Spend their winters up here on the Tweed and Gold Coast. Not the best of opening bowls there from Matthew.
Tony's got a great starter here. Seems to be liking that hand so far.
There's our marker, Roger Fearman. Nice correction.
Well, Tony doesn't have to change much, really. To play the same bowl, he can afford to just sit on the bowl of Matthews or just touch the jack, but he looks to have a pretty good line. Played it very well. It's a great shot. Big chance here for the jack. That's a great effort by Matthew Rennex. Chasing the bowl. I think he likes it. He's looking just to cover the jack. No, he's fallen short.
Last bowl of this end for Matthew Rennex.
Looking to play something similar. Sit the bowl, trail the jack. He's got a couple of catches waiting. Just a little wide. He's going to try and dead draw it on the forehand. Well,
is it coming?
Just not, yeah.
It turned late. Just a little bit too much weight on it, but it's still a shot. To Wood. So one shot to Tony Wood, and we're all level after 3 ends. 3-all is the score in this first semi-final. Both bowlers have had a bit of a battle to get here to the semi. Tony Wood has had 2 3-set matches in his 3 so far, and Matthew Rennex has been taken to a tie-break in each of his 3 matches as well. So that either says that competition's pretty close, Barry, or both bowlers have, had to really work hard.
Yeah, definitely. At this level, all the games are very hard. It was interesting to know Matthew, in his first game, was down. I think he was down 4-1 after 2 ends of the tiebreaker, and got a 3, made it 4-all, and went on to win the extra end of the tiebreak. So it just goes to show, an extra end in the first round has got Matthew this far. And how's Tony Wood having to play fellow clubmate Graham Archer from Clayton in the quarter-final match? Now he's playing one of his fellow Victorian teammates, so he must be a really friendly guy, Tony Wood.
Both coming up a little short there, and this is the longest end we've had so far in this match.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the players would have a certain length in mind, but I think maybe starting early on to get some more length, sort of play a little bit longer, might just suit their rhythm. But as we can see, a couple of bowls just falling short on that extra length. Very quick on the mat, Matthew. Doesn't muck around. Both players, like I said before, they've been around. They've played a lot of good standard bowls, both in the Victorian under-25 side. They know what they're doing. Jump on the mat, execute the shot.
Still 1 to the red of Tony Wood.
He's watching it with a lot of interest. Is it there? It's 3 short bowls to Tony. He won't be happy with that at all.
Particularly as he was the one that chose the length of end.
That's right. I'd almost suggest Tony walks down to the head here, just comes down and has a look, gets his mind off those last few bowls. Sometimes just break up the pattern of play, get down to the head, have a look around. You can see he's thinking about what shot to play already. Yep, he's swapping to the backhand. Needs it to bend. He's just arriving, looking to turn his own bowl. And that's not a good result.
The other one.
Oh,
it's fallen out though, I think, Barry, hasn't it?
Yes, I think so. Very good. Yeah,
Matthew's going to come down and have a look.
Yeah, very good option. Very good option. May look to run that bowl out for 4 shots.
Is it going to be a bit tight here? He's going to get through the hole again. Well, he's forced his own one, and will it stay in?
Oh.
The marker is getting the white pad already. It's close, isn't it?
On the matty, is it?
Yeah.
Favour the bowl. Yep. One to Matthew.
1 to Matthew Rennex with the last bowl of that 4th end, and he leads 4-3 after 4. Let's head down rinkside and say a very warm welcome to Andrew Holmes.
Thank you, Mark. I'm here with Graham Archer, who's wearing a few hats today. Last round opponent of Tony Wood, teammate, and also head coach of the Clayton Bowls Club. What did you learn from Tony in that match against you about how he might fare today?
Well, I think that what he done yesterday impressed me was the way he came on a very strong game in the second set against us. I thought when I sneaked the first set, he might have tailed off a bit, but no, his game got stronger and improved, so that'll stand him in good stead for today.
As the club's head coach, you know Tony's game very well. What sort of attributes does he need to display now to win the semi-final?
Tony's got a very clear head when he plays. He's very good with the drawing game. If he gets that working and gets the bulls in early, then he'll be a very hard opponent to beat. So that's what I'm looking for him to do today.
So far we've seen a very even contest, and you just said to me off air that you expected that going in. Matthew's a very good player, isn't he?
Yeah, two of them are, to get to this stage in any competition, some going. And Matthew's had some great games and got through some tie breaks as well. So I expect this probably go to a tie break as well.
Good luck from a Clayton Bowls Club point of view.
Cheers, yes, hopefully it'll go well for Clayton this season.
Lovely accent Graham has, Mark. You could listen to the Scottish talk all day.
Yes, between he and, of course, Kay Moran, Karen Murphy's pairs partner. Got to listen closely, though.
Yes. Tony looking to correct from his first bowl, about a yard short. Just clear his own and draw something around Jack Eye. Be very good here. It's past the jack, which is also very handy. Matthew just has a little wobble in his delivery, but as they say, if you do the same thing every time, well, that gets results. And look at that, beautiful.
You would have thought at that release that that wobble might have, you know.
Last ball, how far past, please?
7 inches.
Thank you.
Might have made it come up short, but it was just about spot on.
I think this is only the second bowl for Tony on the forehand coming this direction. We'll see how he goes. Needs it to hurry around the front one. Oh, it's a good effort.
Rennex holds 2. It's his last bowl of this end. And Tony is following this down. Tony Wood to have a look at the head.
Good option, yep. Matthew's fallen short. That may be costly later in the end. I think Tony's starting to think aggressive here. He's got the spot out the other side. And as we see some weight, backhand runner looking to disturb the head.
Is it going to? Is it just going to miss? Gets a
well,
touch.
He's caught the jack. He's killed the end.
He got a bit lucky touching his own bowl. And the respot means a shot, I would think, to Tony Wood. And it is. There's a red bowl just behind the respot. And so he got a little bit fortunate there, but luck's a fortune. He played aggressively and levels it at 4 after 5 ends of this first semi-final. And in this format, the jack gets respotted, and his bowl was closest to the respot.
What comes around goes around. Matthew with his last bowl on the previous end got the result to win the end with his last bowl. A little bit fortunate. And Tony gets the same with his last bowl the end after. So it's it usually evens up over a game or over the years when you're playing your opponent.
This is end number 6. And these next 2 ends, you would think at 4 all, critical in this first set. Both bowlers would love to win 6 and 7 to give themselves a little bit of a buffer going into the back end of the first set. Just a sign the last couple of ends of a little bit of tension. A few bowls coming up short. There's a worried look on the face of Matthew Rennex.
Don't know why. That's a really good start, I feel. Just in behind the jack there. He's given it every chance. Tony won the end and elected to go about 26 metres this length. and just pulled up slightly short. So he's looking to just come inside his own.
You've got to get very lucky, Barry, don't you, for a short bowl, for a jack to come back to a short bowl.
Yes.
It's not impossible, but you'd have to be extremely lucky.
Matthew doesn't have to correct much at all, really. You know, the fact is, if he plays the same weight and happens to snag the jack, well, he creates his own luck, but he's playing the open hand. Well, he needs this one to reach. He hasn't got a bowl past the jack yet. Just fallen short. Maybe in the count. Yeah, it's 2 shots to Tony Wood.
Yeah, but not 2 shots because of great bowling, though, is it?
No, no. Matthew looking very good here on a lovely line. Has he got the weight? Yes, great shot. Tony Wood giving his opponent a little applause there. Tony looking to trail the jack himself or sit the bowl. Very close here. He's played it very well. It's a great shot, Tony Wood.
A superb play from the 25-year-old. And says, anything you can do, I can do better. And now it's back to Matthew Rennex. The last bowl of this end.
Yeah, backhand. I think plenty of weight. Looking to spring the jack back. Yep. I think it may be under. But is it over?
He couldn't quite do it, and so it is a shot to Tony Wood.
One, mate. One. One, mate.
And back-to-back ends for the first time in this semi-final. Terrific atmosphere at Tweed Head Bowls Club with almost a full house for this men's semi-final. It is one of the tournaments that the bowlers look forward to, and particularly the bowlers on the Tweed coast love coming to the Tweed Head Bowls Club. The weather's normally good, as it is this time of the year in northern New South Wales and southeast Queensland.
Good chance for the Victorians and the southern states to get up and see some sunshine, although it's been pretty good down south lately. Tony Wood plays a fair bit of indoor bowls, both at the Brighton Bowls Club Indoor Centre and at the Southern Indoor Centre in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Matthew Rennex playing at the Altona Bowling Club, 2 grass greens and a outdoor carpet, so they both get the opportunity to play on carpet surfaces quite regularly. I'm sure Tony would be trying to get that first bowl past the jack if he could, especially getting towards the business end of this first set.
It's also fair to say, Barry, neither bowler would feel as though they're in the match yet. They're just,
yeah,
you know, there's no consistency from either bowler at the moment. Although this may be starting to turn here for Tony. He's won 2 ends in a row.
Matthew has got an interesting shot on here because he can't be too heavy that he turns Tony in, but he needs to either just turn his own or get in around behind the jack. He's played it very well. Just where he needed it.
He couldn't have played it any better,
Nah.
could he? Terrific reply. It gives his opponent something to think about now.
I don't think Tony will be looking to correct too much. Just look to turn his own bowl. And if not, just finish him behind the jack himself, giving his last bowl an opportunity. Well, it's not totally wasted. It's a pretty good try there by Tony. I think Matthew's just looking to cover any danger here if the jack does get moved. It's another one in the area. It's 3 really good bowls, actually. They're all placed very well in the head. I think the best result is his through the shot bowl, which is a cannon or a plant, or the jack. Oh, he might hit and run here. Well.
As he picked up shot.
Doesn't want to turn Tony in on the forehand for another shot. Well, with that weight, I think he's trying to draw it. Will it get back?
It's not going to turn enough.
No. Weight was good.
Yeah, 4 reasonable bowls, but not good enough. And so it's 3 consecutive ends here to Tony Wood. And with 2 ends remaining, he leads 6-4 in this first set of the men's semi-final. It is a 9-end set. The first 2, and should a third be required, it is 3 ends, the tie-break. So 3 consecutive ends, but the last 5 ends have all been one-shot ends.
Yeah, it just goes to show the standard of play. There's no easy shots. Crowd's starting to build. There's hardly a spare seat in here now. Absolute first-class complex here at Tweed Heads Bowls Club. The fact that you can play all year round, both indoor and outdoor. That's a better start by Tony Wood with his first bowl. That's what he needed. Matthew sticking to the backhand, playing opposite sides of the rink most of the game, these 2 young fellas. Matthew confident just to go about his way on the backhand and try and draw the shot. Great attempt.
He needs to win this end, really, if he wants to win the first set, but he also needs to stop the momentum that Tony Wood is building. 3 consecutive ends to the 25-year-old.
Well, he's got his weight again this time, which is good to see. Putting bowls in the head this stage of the match is very important, reducing any chance of a number. Matthew looking to get the shot here, just trying to arrive, sit the bowl. He's giving every chance. Well, that's the shot.
To the backhand.
Not only was it the shot bowl in really good position, but it's forced Tony to change hands, switching to the backhand. A new line. Big opportunity here. He's played it well. It's a great shot.
Superb from Tony Wood. He answered the challenge, and now Matthew Rennex has got 2 bowls to stay in the set.
I would have liked to see Matthew come and have a look at this. The jack is hidden.
His reply is on its way. going to get there.
Yeah.
So does Tony go at the back here to...
I think he covers the other spot, goes out to the other side, holds both spots and 2 bowls onto the jack.
Which it looks like he's doing. He's gone very wide. Smart play. He knows with 2 shots, 8-4, he can't be beaten in the first set.
That's right.
He can still be tied, but he can't be beaten.
We spoke about it before in this game. The jack can come forward. I think Matthew's relying on some kind of contact where the jack springs forward or out to the side to one of his bowls, but the way the head does shape up, does appear that the jack will go out to the side of where Tony Wood's bowl is.
Hoping the back white stays up.
But you never know. I think we're going to see a lot of weight here.
Hit and hope. There's the weight.
It's a pretty good release.
It looks straight. He
Whoa.
hits his own bowl. And it will be 2 to Tony Wood.
White. Well, you would have reckon would have locked in.
Yeah, I reckon it would have just gone straight up and...
2.
2
8-4 last end, gentlemen.
to Tony Wood. And we head to the last end. And Tony cannot be beaten in this first set. He needs 4 shots here, Matthew Rennex, to tie the first set. So Tony Wood has the advantage heading into the final end as we head back downstairs to Andrew Holmes.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Mark Cowan, the National Training Centre coach of Victoria, joins me. And you just said before we crossed down that Matthew didn't have much to do with that shot he had on that final shot there.
Yeah, no, his own bowl was covering the 2 shots bowl, so it was a real hard shot for him to get anything out of. So unfortunately, he couldn't. So.
You know these players both very well. They're part of the under-25 side here in Victoria, or in Victoria. What sort of attributes do they both hold that, I mean, they both look like they're calm and relaxed now. Before the game they weren't so much, but they certainly have settled into the match. What are their attributes that will see them hopefully prevail?
Yeah, look, I've had a fair bit to do with both of them over the last couple of years, and they're certainly on the radar for me as far as our national squads. But they're both in the under-25 sides. And I think just, as you said, their calmness under pressure, they've got all the shots, as most of the young ones have, and I think whoever goes getting their first bowl close in this match will go a long way towards winning it. They started off a bit slow, both of them, but yeah, whoever gets the first bowl will start to really nail it, I think.
And Matthew was a little bit slow in nailing that first bowl in that first set.
Yeah, he was, and I think he's sort of just starting to settle into it. Tony's been on TV before, Matthew hasn't, and I think just the nerves the first time around, and Tony's just settled a bit quicker so far.
And great for our sport to have a 21 and 24-year-old battling it out in one of the most prestigious events in Australia.
Yeah, very much so. Both of them are at clubs in Premier League, play Premier League clubs in Melbourne, which have a couple of state players. They're learning from the best, and hopefully as their progression goes along, they'll be making the stateside soon as well.
Thanks for your time.
No worries at all.
Terrific start to this final end from Tony Wood. To pick up 4 shots on any end is difficult, but particularly the last end of a set, Barry, because, you know, Tony just can spoil. He can make it impossible for his opponent to pick up 4 shots.
Definitely, yeah. Matthew's got to be looking to reach with all 4 bowls, which he's done so far with these 2. So he's still in the chance with getting a bit of a number, but Tony's pressure up front's been brilliant.
When does Tony start thinking he may be putting one behind, and, you know, if there's a bit of weight from his opponent, he's got the back covered, because he can concede 3 and still win the set.
Yeah, I think it's important that Tony covers, but not too far back. I think if he just covers about 6 to 8 feet past the jack, it makes Matthew play the real hard weight to try and collect his number of 4 that he's after. So that really puts a lot of pressure on Matthew to play correct weight now to get the jack back to his 2 white bowls.
Does he not also have to try and get rid of those 2 red ones near the jack as well?
Maybe. But at this stage, it's definitely just trying to trail the jack, which is a pretty good chance. He's looking really good for the jack here. I tell you what, well, he might have made 1, but he's not out of it yet. It's one of the best parts of this game, this great game of lawn bowls, is tactical, the tactical side of it. Position bowl. This is a position bowl that either gets the shot or not. It's important. Well, he's played it perfect. Absolutely perfect.
He needs to glance off those two red ones to knock the white, the other red one out of the way and sit with his other three white ones.
Yep.
As Tony just said, this will be some shot if he does it. Well, he's given up on it already. He's gone the forehand.
Yeah, he's electing just to trail the jack clean down the line.
The other option.
He's a bit of a chance.
He's a
Well, weight was
too
there.
much weight. He tried hard. But it will be the first set to Tony Wood. And how many shots was it there? It was the first set with no indication of how many shots. Here it is, 2 to red. So 2 to Tony Wood, and he wins the first set by 10 shots to 4. And the key there is those last 5 ends going to the red bowls of Tony Wood. He leads 1-0 in his first men's semi-final.
Just a little bit too consistent that set, Tony Wood. Sticking to his guns, playing the one hand most of the match. Although probably the best shot of the set was on his backhand coming back to the clubhouse, but just a bit too consistent. But I think this set, Matthew just needs to not change too much, stick to his guns, hang in there.
I think what he has to do too, Barry, is to try and win an end early because it's 5 straight. Even though it's a new set, can stop the momentum in that respect. But it's still 5 consecutive ends to Tony Wood. He's on a little bit of a roll. That one coming up short, though.
Matthew looks very comfortable on this backhand. He hasn't put too many short. He's got a nice starter here, exactly what he needed. Great position.
He hasn't played poorly, just hasn't played well enough at the moment.
Yeah. Just got a bit of a strut about him at the moment, Tony. He's just walking up after his bowl, 3 or 4 strides after his delivery, trying to egg his bowl on just to try and get up amongst the head there. And Matthew's just playing that backhand well. That's a good shot.
Don't think it was a
Last
fair...
ball in front of the jack.
Front of the bowls, front of the jack.
Thank you.
I don't think it was a fair indication, 10-4 in the first set. It wasn't a conclusive first set victory, even though he did win 5 ends in a row. I think 10-4 maybe flatters this man.
Yeah, Matthew, I thought he played quite well, but Tony did convert a couple of occasions, which really turned their heads around, and especially that the one where he trailed the jack for the 2 shots. But Tony's corrected his weight. He's just pulled his line a little bit. Those bowls, I don't think they'll come into the match. Nice, low, smooth delivery. Playing this hand well, Matthew. He's just got to change the head up, turn the bowl, or trail the jack slightly. He's played it really well. Perfect start for the second set.
What are we going to see here as we watch the replay? He holds 3, Matthew Rennex. And so for the first time in this match, Tony Wood goes back and staring down the barrel of a big number, although he did drop 3 in the second end of the first set.
This is where not having the back bowls will hurt you 9 times out of 10 in the respot situation. Any jack movement here. Very quick driver, as we spoke about earlier.
Oh, and he does well. That's about as good as he could do, really.
Yeah, he didn't want the jack to move back.
But still room here for Matthew Rennex to pick up another shot.
Just taking his time. It's good to see Matthew. We said he's only 21, but...
You could see there, Tony knew that, as you mentioned, Barry, those short bowls really came back to hurt him, and he knew that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when the respot comes into play, you've got to really make sure that if not your first bowl, your second bowl's past jack, and that gives you that opportunity later on in the end to play weight, knowing if the jack does kill, you've got something behind.
Last bowl of the first end of the second set. Can he pick up another shot here? Matthew Rennex has been terrific on that backhand on this end, but this is not going to get there. It's his worst bowl at the end. Pressure does that, doesn't it? He could see he had huge amount of room, and he just was a little bit short on it, but still, he stopped the bleeding. It is an end to Matthew Rennex. 1-0 in this second set. So 5 consecutive to Tony Wood, and Matthew Rennex starts the second set with the opening end. It's amazing how in sets play, Barry, you know, a new set, even though it's just the next end, there's been no time difference or whatever, can just stop the momentum of a player in front.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Matthew came out, like I said before, he stuck to his guns. He came out, didn't worry about swapping hands or anything, just said, well, I've been playing this backhand pretty well, and came out and played 3 really good draw shots and put Tony under the pressure. And that's what it's all about, putting your opponent under pressure, making them play to your bowls, play all the big shots, and Matthew looks like to have a really good starter here again. So probably looking at about a 30-metre length here. It's one of the longer ones for the match. Tony looking to just improve a little bit on his first 2 bowls. Just dropping short. Not a bad attempt. Both come out of very powerful clubs in Victoria. Matthew Rennex playing at Altona Bowling Club and Tony Wood at Clayton Bowls Club. Both Premier League clubs. Week in, week out, playing with and against state and national representatives. Can only do wonders for their experience. And that's what's helped them get here today. Just a little bit scrappy this end, but it's good to see Tony make that correction. Matthew be looking definitely to get something past jack, which he has. It's a very good shot. I think the other thing, Mark, that helps these 2 young fellas is they're good friends, so help settle the nerves and help them relax. So I think I heard Tony say good shot, Rexy, to Matthew before, so the spirit's good out there on the rink.
Down.
He's got 2 back bowls this time. Staying on the forehand here, Matthew Rennex.
Yeah, it's an interesting selection here because he needs to get another one close, but then he's 2 down at the back, so we know Tony can play big weight. Well.
We nearly fell. Oh, he picked up the mat. I thought from that
Yeah,
he'd fallen over.
he's
Tony Wood.
he's electing to try and dead draw this on the narrow hand. Will it get down in time?
Oh, hurry then.
Well, he saved a shot, at least, maybe two.
Still two.
Still two, is it?
Yeah,
Two.
two.
Well, for the first time in the match, Matthew Rennex has won consecutive ends and leads 3-0 after 2 ends of this second set. Tony Wood took the first 10-4. Part of the very healthy crowd here at Tweed Heads Bowls Club.
Great to see some familiar faces.
Australian Open champion of 2013, Aaron Wilson in the crowd. Got beaten in the first round here. In fact, he and Mark Casey, Brett Wilkie all beaten early. The three big names in the field, or three of the biggest names in the field.
Just edging out Tony at the moment with Matthew with his consistency. He bowls around the head. So important to get that first bowl or second bowl right on the jack, and preferably behind the jack. Tony, interesting here, swapping to the backhand with his first bowl. Hasn't done that all match. Play the backhand with his first bowl in this direction. But so far it's working.
Well, Matthew Rennex shouldn't be concerned being a set down. He hasn't won the first set so far in the tournament in his 3 previous matches. Dropped the first set in rounds 1 and 2 and drew the first set in his quarter-final. So this is not unfamiliar territory for him. The dominant hand here for Tony is someone's mobile goes off. Tony Wood didn't flinch.
No. He's slightly wide of that hand. Tony's just missed his line.
Maybe he did flinch. But over 70% of his choice today have been backhand for Tony. Oh, nearly dropped that.
Bit sweaty.
And a bit nervy.
Yeah.
Waiting for the phone.
I think we might see just a little bit of weight here. Just forehand. Look to disturb the head. Can afford just to trail the jack. Sit the bowl. And if he misses, just get that bowl past the jack. In the area here. Played it very well. That's a great shot. Matthew Rennex. He's up and about in his second set.
Mate, added to that, the fact that he almost dropped the bowl.
Yes.
Beforehand.
Situation,
It was
please. Situation.
One only.
Thank you.
I mean, to almost drop it and then come back and play a bowl like that shows plenty of character.
Needs to be careful here, Tony. He doesn't want to play too much weight and take his own bowl out, but he's smarter than that. He'll just look to arrive. Well, he's played it pretty well if he can clear that bowl, but oh well, he's 2 down now. That's not all bad. That's not all bad. Now the jack is not going straight back.
One bowl left each. And how we would dearly love to pick up 2, maybe 3 here. Matthew Rennex to open up a sizable lead. So there's, what is it? It's got to be close to, you know, if he can get in there to pick up 3, or even maybe get rid of the front bowl of Tony's to pick up more.
Yeah, very important he doesn't fatten the target. As you can see, he's going out wide here, looking to cover the spot, or in case the jack does get sprung out there. Must hurry.
It's got to go, doesn't it?
He's let himself down there. He's done all the hard work with his first 3. Tony still has to hit the target, but also, once again, there is a small possibility of clearing his own 2 out, but he'll only go down one worse. We'll see a lot of weight here, I'm guessing. Looking to hit the shot bowl on the nose, spring the jack out to the side, and Tony Wood has the respot waiting. Yep, winding up, backhand, big weight. Right in the area. Great shot, Tony Wood.
Terrific stuff. He trailed the jack. It'll be re-spotted.
There we go.
And there's one. And he let himself down, as you mentioned, Matthew Rennex, with his last bowl. It is 1 to Tony Wood. And, you know, he was looking at 5 zip. It's 3-1 instead. And if he got the weight on that last bowl, he would be 4-0, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'll be absolutely kicking himself, Matthew, but it's very important now he moves on from that. Tony Wood, beautiful drive, backhand, respot, waiting.
Well, it's the second one he's done.
Yeah, 2 from 2.
Yep.
Coming back from a drive. Not easy. Beautiful draw shot. Very classy. Good sign of composure coming back from a full-blooded drive. 30 seconds later, drawing a front toucher. All about rhythm and technique here, just trying to do the same thing over and over again on this carpet surface.
Just following the opening bowl there, Matthew Rennex, Tony Wood.
It's good that he gets that one behind early. Tony's looking to add another shot, but he just cannot afford to just come down and sit next to the shot bowl. Does not want to widen the target. Even if he just splits the 2 red ones in place now, it's a good result. Switching to the forehand. Shot's an absolute bonus here. If Matthew can just get second shot with this one here and maybe try and play something with his last, but definitely try and get something close with this. Looks to have a little bit of weight on it again. Close. Played it very well. What a shot.
Well played, Matthew Rennex. He does get very hard on himself, Matthew. I know he's only 21 years of age and he will mature as a player as well, but he just sensed that at times he just gets a bit too down on himself, and that's a terrific bowl. And some opponents will feed off that.
That's right. We had Mark Cowan on the microphone before, just saying that both players have got all the shots, and that's a great example of that. Matthew's 2 first draw bowls were a little bit through, but he stuck to what he liked. He just wanted to play that little arriving shot. No fear. Now Tony's looking to just arrive as well. Can pick the jack up. What a shot, Tony Wood.
Outstanding play from the 25-year-old. And says to his opponent, "Oh, mate, you've come up with one of your best bowls of the day. Well, here's one that's better."
Just holding all the way that bowl, down on the narrow hand, clean as a whistle.
Real test here for Matthew Rennex.
Looking to reduce. Well, he's a big chance as well. I'll tell you, look at the standards lifting here. Oh,
Got unlucky.
I think he's reduced it to 1.
It's tight. It certainly is the 1, but it was a good bowl. Even if he just drops 2 shots, he's got to be happy with his last 2 efforts. There's 2. 2. And that's all it'll be.
Got that tape on
Tight
there,
for 3. The one at 1 o'clock.
Don't know about that third one.
It's got to be tight compared to the one, say, at 4 o'clock. I don't think it's the one at 5 o'clock that's the worry. It's that one they're measuring.
Yeah.
Now. You never know with the angles. And
no, they can see it better than we can.
so it's certainly 2. And is that all it's going to be? Well, it's close, isn't it?
Yeah. Umpire. Call an umpire, mate.
Umpire.
We've spoken about this before, Barry, on our coverage on Fox Sports of the lawn bowls. It won't be long. And there's certainly 2. And
The tape just doesn't really slide on you very nice.
Yeah, I know. Terrible. He's sliding everywhere.
here it is, the laser now. Been calling for that for ages.
Yeah.
Barry, we're into the 21st century, and there it is. No, it's not. It's just a little machine.
Yes. No, I wish we did. It would take a lot of... I wish we did have a laser. Yes, it's... what are we?
You know, the bloke's measuring... You can measure rooms at home with a little laser. Guys come out and do that.
Yeah, that's right. And I think there's even an app out there now for that. So
Is there?
it's... Matthew Rennex, he played a very big conversion shot to reduce. He probably does deserve to go 2 down here.
Well, it's tight. It's as close as you can get, isn't it?
Just the 2 shots.
Just the 2 shots. But he did play well the last 2 bowls. And no consolation when you drop 2 to be 3-all after 4 ends and down a set. But you've got to look for something positive. And his last 2 bowls were good, but not just quite good enough.
We're starting to see a bit of everything now. Conversion shots, draw shots, you name it. So it's the standard's very high at the moment. Both players contributing with all 4 bowls.
That could be a pivotal end, though, that 4th end.
Tony now playing the backhand towards the club with his first bowl and seems to be enjoying it. He was just missing his weight a little bit, Tony, on the forehand coming back to the club. Seems to have found it easier on his backhand. Holds the ball high up in his stance. It gets down really nice and low. Beautiful, smooth release. So important on this surface. And we can see why.
Forehand now from Rennex. Got to come back a long way.
Yep. Just looking to play a little weighted shot there. Sit the bowl, trail the jack. He's got 2 catches. Tony be either thinking draw another or get amongst those. So much tactics involved. Got to be on your game every bowl. 3 ripping bowls. Increase of weight here by Matthew. You're going to see some big weight, I'm pretty sure. Looking to play that hard weight. In the area. Just going under.
He's got the 3 back bowls, and it's Tony's option here. Just that he's got to get one behind at the back to protect if Matthew goes the drive for his last one.
I think it's best that Tony goes right back to the tee.
This could be the pivotal moment in this semi-final. He holds 3.
Well, he's not as wide as I thought he would be.
He's
almost
looking for
drawing.
4.
Yeah. Well, no, he's nestled amongst the 3 white ones of Matthews.
Can he conjure something up here, Matthew Rennex? He trails 3 shots.
More weight. He's a chance here. I think we're going to see some disturbance. Wow.
He's missed everything.
There you go.
Can you believe that? And drops 3. It was all or nothing there. And he went so close to maybe picking up 3, even 4, to drop 3. The 3rd consecutive end after trailing 3-zip in this second set. Tony Wood now leads 6-3 after taking the first set 10-4.
Matt right back. We're looking at about a 27, 28 metre length here. Tony enjoying the backhand most of the game here. Lovely start. It's like a weight off your shoulders when you get that first one close. No, it's not bad reply. For this stage of the game, Mark, it's so important for Matthew not just only get the shot, but his bowls stay in the game. You know, have those bowls around a foot or 2 of the jack. Just hanging out there a little bit on the backhand.
$14 ends so far in the semi-final, and Matthew Rennex has only won 4 of them, but he's still in the match. It's a critical moment though. End number 6, he trails by 3 shots, and his opponent is in pole position here.
Well, does want that looks to be counting that bowl. Matthew swapping hands, 4-hand draw. Is he going to hold?
Don't think so. It'll just knock one closer.
Wow.
Oh, got a bit fortunate. It's 2, 1, maybe 2.
Lovely tractor there.
Is it coming?
Needs it to turn. Yeah, it's starting to turn now. Well, there's a massive wall of bowls there. Matthew Rennex will be licking his lips at that.
It's a big target, isn't it?
Yep. If he clears them out, he could make a number here.
Great Wall of China.
The Great Wall of China, Tony Wood. Correct. Either can play just to arrive and make a one or two, or...
What would you do?
Well, I'd get right into him, actually. I'd come down and arrive, even if he gets at the front white through the jack. He's a big chance to there.
It's got a turn.
He's...
It's a good bowl. It's tight, though, isn't it? Is it enough? One to red. That is a massive moment in this semi-final. Tony Wood, how lucky was he there? It was an opportunity gone begging there for Matthew Rennex, and it may be the opportunity that cost him this semi-final. 7-3 after 6 ends of the second set. Well, in any sport, Barry, there's big moments in matches, and that may be the big moment of this semi-final. Could so easily have been 2 to Matthew Rennex and 6-5 with 3 to play, but it's 7-3 with 3 to play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was. I think there was more opportunities with more weight there, especially with the bowls all being in a group. If you hit 1, 2 or 3 go with it, all of a sudden you're lying potential 2 or 3 shots. Also, the beauty of that head was he had all the back bowls. So any jack moving, he was going to win. But start again. A new tactic. First bowl on the forehand. Why not? That's what he needs. Just a small number this end. 1 or 2 would be fine. Try and finish strong. Tony likes it. Walking backwards. Weight looks good for what he's trying to play. He's just trying to land the red bowl for 2 shots. He's got another one close, though. Works hard on his game, Tony Wood. He's got all the shots in the book, as we've seen this game so far. Good driving, good draw bowling. Played the conversion shots.
How far is he off a jack, mate?
7.5 inches.
Well, swapping to the backhand. It's what we like to call 3 seconds. Matthew's 3 white bowls are all second shots. Well, they're actually second, third and fourth. But how do we get rid of that red one?
Does Tony look to get in amongst those white ones there just to nullify that?
Yeah, just get another one close. Hopefully beating the 3rd or 4th shot. Only looking to probably take 18 inches of weight off his last bowl. Looks to be in the area. Oh, doesn't want to make a target out of it.
Yes.
Well.
Shot, mate.
Matthew says shot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Tony thinks that, or does that suggest that Matthew doesn't really know what he wants to do here?
Well, there's only one shot for Matthew. That's trail the jack for 3 shots. Similar weight to his last bowl. Jack down the line. Is the wider hand.
Is he going weight here?
He's pointed it pretty well. Needs jack movement of some sort. Wow. Couldn't have played it much better.
He got a little bit unlucky. He did play it well, but he concedes 2. And another end to Tony Wood, and another step closer to a spot in the final. It is 9-3, and it is an end coming up, the 8th of this second set, that has to be won by Matthew Rennex if we're to go to a 9th end of the second set.
Oh, my God.
He just has played some good shots, but not played the critical moments well enough, Matthew Rennex. And the main critical moment was that 6th end of this second set, which just gave enough breathing room to Tony Wood to put the pressure right on his opponent to stay in the semi-final.
Yeah, that's right. It's so important to play those big shots when they're required, either to make a number or trail a jack. But I must say, Tony has really put the pressure on. If he's been on the jack, he's been right on the jack, and that's so important in singles.
And 10-4 the first set, 9-3 suggests a comfortable position for Tony Wood, and it is, but it doesn't say how hard Matthew Rennex has pushed him at the moment as we head downstairs to Andrew Holmes.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Graham Archer joins me again, and Mark Braybrook just mentioned that the scoreboard probably doesn't indicate how close this match has really been, although it's one-sided in favour of Tony.
Yeah, I mean, Tiger had a couple of great strikes in the early part of the second set, and if he missed them, he would have probably been the same score down. So it's a good quality game, and Tiger just came out with 1 or 2 special balls at the right time.
If you had the opportunity to talk to Tony throughout the course of this match as head coach of the Clayton Bowls Club, what would you say to him?
I'll just say, keep relaxed, keep enjoying it. It's important in these games is to try and not get too caught up in the moment. It's just to play the game and enjoy the occasion. And I think he's doing that, and he's settled in great, and it's looking good at the moment for him to get through.
He does look like he's a player who keeps his emotions and his mental focus intact very nicely.
Yes, he is. He's not a very loud, exuberant person, but as you say, he keeps himself well in check, and I think he's well controlled himself at this point in the game.
All the best for the last couple of bowls.
Yes, well, I hope so. A couple of ends to go, so hopefully he'll just sneak through, and it'll be great for Clayton to have him in the final.
It may in fact be the last end here if Matthew Rennex doesn't win this end with 3 shots, because even 9-5 is not good enough because he can't win the set, and he's got to win the set. He just can't tie it. So the match is in the hands here of Tony Wood.
Yeah, he's just played a very good bowl with his second, Matthew. He's going to need a couple more of those. 3 shots at least this end. But Tony is up and about, as we like to say, chasing after this. And it's a fair effort. Matthew's got to now put another one in there, draw 2 shots. This is a big bowl, this. He must get the second shot here. Looks to be tight. Well, he's going to need a miracle from here, Matthew Rennex. Tony just needing to play similar way to he's been playing this end. Just take a little bit more grass.
Hurry.
Wants it to hurry past the white shot bowl, and he's played it pretty well.
He needs a bit of a miracle here.
Needs to slice the jack and then just working off the back red for 3. Very tough shot.
So he needs 3. He holds 1 at the moment. He's going to the forehand. This to stay in the semi-final. Both bowlers look on intently. Is he going to get there? Still running. It's still grunting, but not enough.
Well, it's 2 shots.
It is
not
2
enough.
shots, but it's not enough. He'll concede 2 here, Tony, and that will be enough. And so it is a win to Tony Wood. He is through to the final of the Men's Indoor Championship for 2013 with a straight set victory over Matthew Rennex. And I'm not sure how many shots they got on that final end, but let's give him Matthew Rennex at least the one. And so 10-4, 9-4 will be the final count for Tony Wood to move through to the final of the Men's Championships, the Australian Indoors for 2013. We have our first men's finalist at the Australian Championships for 2013, Tony Wood. And Tony, I don't think the scoreboard gave a true reflection of how close that semi-final was.
No, I don't think so at all. It was a very tight game. The first set, I thought Matty was on top early and got away with a couple of ends there and managed to keep in it and kicked away towards the end. And then the second set was pretty much the same, 3-0 down and 2 down on the head, and lucky enough hit a drive and got the respot and scored 1 and got on a bit of a roll.
How much does it mean to you to be in a final of an Australian title?
It means a lot. Really been looking forward to this tournament for some time now. When I went over to Potters for the World Indoors, just gave me a grasp on how much bowls means to a lot of people, and to come back here and try and do it in my own country really is what I'm trying to do now.
Well, congratulations through to the final, Tony Wood. And on behalf of my co-commentator Barry Lester, I'm Mark Braybrook. It's goodbye from Tweed Heads.